government settles with a settlement with the smelting company in Lynn State, Pennsylvania. Federal government resolves environmental violations of the hltv copper faculty in Lynn State, Pennsylvania. hltv Copper has agreed to perform a comprehensive environmental audit and implement an updated environment management system. The civil complaint brought by the United States Department of Justice on behalf of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. Today's settlement improves water quality of the citizens of Lakesville and surrounding communities, said Acting Assistant Administrator Lori Stumford for the APA's Office of Enforcement and Compliance Assistance. The PADEP has assisted EPA in the investigation and litigation of this case and is co-plaintiff and signaling to the proposed sentences. Previous to this settlement, hltv Copper was ordered to pay a criminal fine of $550,000 and to serve 3 years probation. $20 million to repair workers' rights in union jobs. United States Department of Labor awarding $20 million to help support workers' rights against abuse of power against the workforce in El Salvador, Guantanamo, and Honduras. The U.S. Department of Labor today announced its intent to award up to $20 million in grant funding to elevate workers. Administered by the Bureau of International Labor Affairs, these funding opportunities will finance projects to promote respect for labor's rights. $20 million in available funding includes up to $7 million to address child care labor, forced labor, and other unaccepted conditions of work among El Salvador and Guantanamo. In the coming weeks, the department will announce an additional $13 million in funding opportunities amid to improving compensational safety. The administrator's root cause strategy recognizes that the dissent work at the promotion of labor rights fosters inclusive economic growth. President Biden releases details on bipartisan Investment and Jobs Act legislation. Here's the latest. Biden administration releases details on its infrastructure investment plan. A little over a month ago, the president announced a bipartisan infrastructure framework. The agreement will create good-paying union jobs, address disparity in our economy and the consequences of decades of investment in American infrastructure that have fallen mostly heavily on communities of color. These critical investments are first steps in advancing equality and racial injustice throughout our economy. There is a digital divide in America. Black families are 90% less likely to have high-speed internet in their homes. White peers and Latino Americans are 13% less likely. The act ensures that they will have access to the internet with $21 billion in investments in broadband and tribal communities. The deal moves the reinstates the largest in drinking water in America's history, replacing all the nation's leading pipes and service pipes. The framework's historic investment in public transit, the largest federal investment in history, will reduce commute times and create more economic opportunities in communities of color. It will also create the first ever program to reconnect communities divided by transportation infrastructure. The legislation will also deliver thousands of electric school buses nationwide for building clean school districts. $21 billion will be used to create good-paying union jobs, plugins of orphan oil and gas wells. Also, they'll be investing in elevating, building roads, bridges, hardened physical infrastructure, and winterizing the power grid. It'll also upgrade our power infrastructure, including by building thousands of miles of new resilient transmission lines to facilitate the expansion into renewable energy. Maybe we'll have a secret love. Maybe we'll try just rise above. Every little moment will be a part of everything that happens. Maybe we'll find some hideaway. What we'll do, who can say? Maybe we'll be a little part of everything that happens. Maybe we'll find a secret love. Everything will touch just rise above. Perfect.